When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Hi everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Kop End Fracas, powered by the Touchline Media Group. This is your episode for Wednesday the 22nd of July. I am your host Krish and I am joined this week by Fahi Ellis, King Mark and Joe the Rambler. Howdy boys. Just a quick housekeeping note. I have two things for you. If you haven't already, head over to patreon.com/Kop End Fracas, and from as little as £3 a month, you can subscribe to our Patreon page. That'll help us keep the lights on and, more importantly, deliver you a lot more great content than what we're doing now. So we already have about 3 or 4 shows on there. Good stuff, quality stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm not a snake oil merchant. It's quality stuff. So get over there, get subscribing. And if that wasn't enough, we have a competition for you all. We are giving away 2 premium t-shirts from Merch Taken Quickly, our friends over there. So all you have to do is just head over to our Twitter account, simply retweet the tweet that's available, follow us, and of course follow Merch Taken, and we will announce a winner by the end of the week. So good luck with that, and yeah, safe shopping. So let's tuck into it, boys. Let's start off with a little bit of transfer news, which is something we haven't talked about since Timo Werner, I guess, which seems like it was about 6 years ago. I'm assuming you have all heard of a certain Brazilian Spanish footballer called Thiago Alcantara. Have you not?
What? Who's that? I mean,
apparently he's some guy that people have only heard of on FIFA.
Yeah, I mean, according to some of our other podcasting friends, apparently, shout them out. But yeah, apparently he's not a well-known.
His godbrother or something, or like
something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I heard his brother played for Barca as well in Inter. So,
yeah, I heard his dad used to play for Brazil and that. I don't know.
Interesting.
So we have been heavily linked to Thiago over the past few weeks. It's a bit of a weird one, as the UK journalists have been suspiciously quiet on it. We haven't heard any confirmations. We haven't heard any. More importantly, we haven't heard any denials about Thiago. Fahi, Joe, I'll go to you because you were fighting about transfers earlier on. And, we're an entertainment podcast. This is what we do. Thoughts on how Thiago would fit in at Liverpool? I think he add a little bit of a different element to the team from deep and going forward. But I'm interested to hear both of your thoughts on it and if you think a potential transfer is there to be done.
I mean, who wants to go first, Joe? Would you like to go first, or?
There's nothing really, outside of the obvious with Thiago. He walks in and he's our best midfielder, CM, whatever you want to tag him with. He's technically probably going to be our best player. So it's a no-brainer for me. I think it's something that just, when you have players that are of that, that talent level and are ready and waiting to come and play for the team, just get it done. There's really no 2 ways about it. He adds a nice little air of unpredictability in our game. He makes that transition from defense to attack. He makes that a lot more seamless, a lot more effective, a lot more fluid. And he also will add, I guess, from a final third perspective as well. I think we all see. We all have come accustomed to that sort of play from him, where he is really elegant to look at, really graceful on the ball, but also a really clever player and very difficult to get a hold of if you are an opposing team. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I don't understand where others may feel like maybe we're just hearing of him and it's an exotic name. So we're getting ahead of ourselves. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we probably won't have had a technically gifted player like that in the last, 6, 7, 8 years. So, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, no, agreed on everything Joe said. Top midfielder, I'm a big fan, always been a big fan. The only thing that's ever worried me about him is how his body breaks down. But I think he has been unlucky a few times as well. And I think based on the way we play and the way we rotate, if it ever did happen, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Ultimately, in terms of style and what he brings, is something completely different to what we currently have. And he has the confidence and the know-how in terms of bringing the play forward, like much better compared to what we currently have. So yeah, he is who I want in the team. Like the thought of having a Thiago in our midfield would never have crossed my mind a month ago. So the fact that this is an actual conversation that we're having is bizarre to me. And as time's gone on, it's clear to see that it's a legit transfer rumour. It's not a made-up link. None of our journos are saying no to it because they ultimately do know, and they clearly have been briefed that we are interested, but they can't report on it because we don't know if we're moving yet. Or, this is the argument me and Joe are having. So
yeah,
it's a really weird one, but I think everyone in this call, everyone in our chat, 90% of Liverpool fans would agree that, Thiago would be a fantastic signing.
Would you say the other 10%, what type of player would you think they want?
Jack Grealish, apparently.
So
right,
we're also in the 10% then. That's a weird one.
So I'm in the 90 and the 10%.
Jack Grealish, yeah.
What?
The best team, the best club in the world, champion.
We'll save that.
Champion.
We'll save
that other good stuff.
We'll save that.
We're running off.
Save that chat for the.
Alright, Joe, shut up. Let's carry on.
We'll save that for the Clash pod we've got planned. But yeah, I think in terms of why a deal probably hasn't been struck already, obviously Bayern Munich in the Champions League, I think they've got a very, very good chance of winning the Champions League, and he will want to see out that campaign through. We 100%. Don't know where. Yeah, well, I mean, we don't know where we are in terms of future income as well. I was reading something the other day that Liverpool are losing an estimated £3 million per game at the moment. Which is,
he can he can rupture his Achilles in the second leg against Chelsea. So, and if let's say, for example, we've agreed a deal and he ruptures his Achilles, then what? Like it doesn't make sense.
You're fucked. You're in an national army situation.
So why the hell are you ever going to agree a deal? Like it literally does not make sense to me. And I don't really get why our fans are crying, because Bayern still have football to play and anything could happen to Thiago. And he's clearly an influential member of that team and he will be playing those games.
I completely agree. I mean, I think a few people have pointed out, Timo Werner, well, he signed for Chelsea and doesn't want to affect his status going into next season. And he pulled out of their Champions League squad.
He pulled out of the games.
Yeah, he pulled out. And I think another key point as well is that we don't know. We might have a more clear point of where we are in terms of outgoings as well. So the statuses of a Marco Grujic or a Wijnaldum, they become more apparent over time. So a lot of factors in the deck still need to be played. Mark. I think the interesting thing about this transfer is it allows for a lot more movement within the squad in terms of playing positions. So we do know that Klopp is keen on doing 4-2-3-1 from 2018, 2019. I think that Thiago would help integrate that a bit more into the squad. You'll have a bit more freedom of movement within the front three, etc. They're not nailed down to play their natural positions. We'll also allow something like, let's say, Fabinho to play centre-back, which I think is a very realistic possibility for next season. So I just want to know what you think about that and what this signing would mean for the evolution of the team and not being stuck to one formation like we have been. Because, let's be real, I think it's being kept as our formation because, we are ultimately winning games at the end of the day.
I think it allows for more tactical flexibility, like you said. I remember going on Theo and saying I would love to see a midfield of Naby, Coutinho, and Thiago. And
You're a madman. You're a madman.
I know I got slandered for it, but why is that different from a midfield of Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and David Silva, where City have been successful and got 100 points when playing that team?
So what game would you argue? So what game would you implement that midfield?
Okay, judging off games that we've played this season, Crystal Palace, teams that are really going to sit back and we're not going to be troubled too much defensively, but we need someone to break up the play. And in my opinion, based off just stats and watching them, I feel like Naby and Thiago can do both of them. Comparing them to City's successful midfield, I feel like City only have one ball winner in that midfield. If we play a midfield of Thiago, Naby, and Coutinho, we would have two ball winners in Naby and Thiago, and two people who can pressure. And people are not remembering Coutinho pre-Barca move was a pressing machine. He was able to press people out of the game himself. So we'll have 3 people really energetic in there, able to press and can all pass and can all unlock a midfield from different positions. So, yeah, it does sound like a FIFA midfield, but in reality, I feel like played the right way, it could help against certain teams or trying to unlock teams. I'm sorry, I sound really muffled at the moment. I've got liners in at the moment, so I'm struggling.
No, man, you got to keep that. You got to keep that $1 million smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, we're trying.
El, how about you?
It will allow for, firstly, Walker, don't forget, in terms of continue playing midfield, I think that's why Klopp allowed him to leave. Mm-hmm. Because Klopp saw that he didn't have the fitness. Yeah, nor the lung capacity to keep on running up and down, and he should just tire out. Klopp saw that. He's dispensable there. But in regards of the tactical flexibility that Thiago allows us, I mean, if you want to play 2 in the middle with Fabinho and Thiago, you can do it. If you want to play 3 in the middle with Thiago playing as that deep line playmaker, Fabinho's a destroyer, then let's say Keita being your full number 10, you can do it. Thiago can be that full number 10 as well. He also allows for someone to dictate the game well. Our midfield, we don't have many people who can just keep the ball ticking. You can find square passes, you can find gaps in midfield. We haven't had someone of that ilk since, let's say, Alonso, if we're going to keep it 100. Somebody who can pick his head up, find a pass, who can switch play quickly. And I think he's a signing. If you look at the way he plays, some of our build-up in the midfield takes a long time to get out to the wing. So, for instance, we play with our fullbacks. If you have a player like Thiago, he's able to switch it quickly. So we can do left to right quickly. We can get Salah one-on-one quicker. You can also get Mane one-on-one quicker, which is what you want. So I think we're looking to that type of game, because at times this season it's taking longer to get to the wing. It's taking longer to get to the fullbacks. So if we can do that, I think we break down teams quicker. But also it allows us, like I said, to change the shape. Like you said, we can play different ways. If you want to put Fabinho at centre back, you can do that. So yeah, it is a good signing that's exciting us, man.
But I'm baffed. What is the issue? What are we complaining about then? What's going on?
No one's complaining other than Joe. Like,
I think people are upset that we're not doing it quick enough. But it's mad to me because nobody else is moving.
But do we know if listen. Here's the thing. It's nothing really crazy. For everything that we're saying, and it's really nice. It's Thiago's a really good player, all this good stuff. I get it. But there is no guarantees that we actually are interested. Like, we actually are looking and pressing and moving forward to actually sign him.
We literally are interested. Like,
Bro, we have been.
We're dropping heart emojis all over this guy's.
Listen.
Pictures,
we have been interested in quite a few players, and for whatever reason, it's not got over the line.
Yeah. Something not going over the line doesn't.
No, hold on. Let me wrap. So for me, it's stages. So I said to you, we're not interested in this guy because he makes too much sense for us, and we know what makes sense for us. We probably won't.
And I think you're absolutely crazy for saying that.
Okay, so when I said to you, Marco, that okay, I'll even entertain that we're interested in Werner. We've been flirting with Werner, up and down, left and right, shaking pom poms, heart emoji, sending chocolates to his house, him sending chocolates to Klopp's house. Ultimately, when the chips were down and someone offered money, he left. He didn't really care. He wasn't even thinking about Liverpool. So as soon as the opportunity came to him,
if you see 200, if you see 250k flashed in your face,
I think the Werner thing. I think the Werner thing personally is. But no, look, let me go, man. Let me go. Fuck me.
Oh, hold on, I wasn't finished.
You're just gonna ramble. That's what you're gonna do, though.
I haven't rambled. I was
Yeah, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
My point is, we can do as much as we like, and we can say we're interested or whatever that may be. Getting it over the line, that's a completely different conversation to be had. We've already seen it, and for all we know, he could end up elsewhere, and it's a real possibility. Being interested means nothing, and I think when there's an opportunity for you to get it done, just get it done. That's literally just get it done. That's literally my only take.
I think
to get it done, get it done. Sorry, Chris,
football isn't even finished. The transfer window isn't even open. Football isn't even done. Like we just addressed.
Yo, what kind of
still have football
is that? What kind of crazy? The
Bayern
transfer window isn't open, and you're seeing everybody else making bids. What is
Alright,
the point?
Making bids.
You're not making the. You're not making the.
Okay.
You can still get the transfers done before the actual window's open. So what point are you making? Sorry,
So
go ahead, bro.
So
we just addressed that Bayern still have a lot of football to play, important football to play, because they want to win the Champions League. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Mark's basically stole the point. So basically, the point I was about to make is.
I mean.
So the point Mark was making is a very good one in terms of, obviously Bayern having a lot to play for the rest of the season. I think the Werner example is a slightly flawed one, as we know that had, it's time locked and it's very time sensitive. So if you're in a place of uncertainty and you're, being averse to making a major investment, as Timo Werner was, and you can, I think the salary definitely helps, and that's one, and that is the key way that Chelsea, attract players to their club. As we're seeing today with Dean Henderson, they are, ready to off double his wages than what he's on at Man United. That's a way of enticing players to the club. The flirting thing, it's, that is how you do business. But again, I'll also say, Virgil van Dijk, that was a transfer that was planned, ruined. Interest from other clubs came in, Chelsea, Man United, Man City. He turned them down because he was dead set on joining Liverpool. So there are many other different examples of that being in play. I do understand you're concerned because, we are seeing other teams make plays for other players.
Tag me in, Chris. Tag me in.
Go on.
Like who though? Like who?
I feel like Klopp goes with people who are set on joining Liverpool. So the reason the Van Dijk one worked out is because he wants someone that not as loyal to the club, but puts Liverpool above his other options. And seeing that Werner did make that move, that wouldn't be someone Klopp would want to work with. Okay, yeah, we missed out on a great striker. We don't know what he's going to do in the Prem. We don't know how he's going to adjust to the Prem. But he is a proven goal scorer. So I understand your frustration there.
So look at remember Julian Draxler when he was he leaving? Was it Wolfsburg? Werder Bremen? One of the two. He could have come. He could have come and signed for us. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he chose to move to PSG because the package he was being, flogged at was outrageous. Look at him now, can't even get in the fucking team, and he would be sold for 25 cents on the dollar. Mm-hmm. It's just how the game is played. And I do understand your concerns, but I think at this moment in time, when we're so early and there's so many other variables to be in play. So premature.
Like, why are you worrying when football isn't even finished?
It's not worrying for me because I've said ultimately I don't think he's gonna. I don't think that transfer.
And you've ultimately said that you're not. I've been very won the Prem. So why are you concerned, bro?
Huh? Say that again.
You ultimately said you're not going to watch football after we've won the Prem. So why are you concerned? I'll take these aligners out.
Because the season's not. You're basically just going round in circles. The season's not done.
Yeah,
once the season's done and the window's open, I can sit back and relax. I'm telling you, literally, this is not going to get done. And we have
our bet. We have our bet, and I know it will get done.
Yeah, for the listeners, our bet is that Liverpool will spend over £50 million on a player. I don't believe that's going to happen. We just said that we don't have any money. We couldn't afford Timo Werner. We're haggling over money with Bayern over 32 million pounds or whatever that may be.
I'm trying to say things,
but somehow we're going to go ahead and we're going to spend over 50 million.
There's uncertainty.
It's not going to happen. How much money it's fine.
In. We just said there's uncertainty about. We just said there's uncertainty about how much money is coming in. We didn't say things are black and white, as in there is no money. Full stop. We said,
listen,
money is
How
coming in.
can you make the bet that we're gonna spend over 50 million if there's an
the
air of
transfer window
uncertainty
ends in
that's coming out of your
October.
mouth?
The transfer window ends in October.
Bro, don't expect anything. That's like it is what
I'm
it is.
certain by then we would have moved out some players. We would have the money in to buy new players. That's what
All
I'm
right.
Oh,
two things.
Sorry.
All right, Fahi, go on. Go on, Fahi.
All right, so number one, I'm really not a fan of how we rewrite history of what actually happened with the Werner situation. Like, it is so nasty, some of the stuff that Joe comes out with.
Would you say it's agenda-driven?
Well, clearly. Like, what else is it? Like, literally, we've got a fan base just rewriting history of things that have happened with failed transfers. And, like, we kind of then use that as an example and be like, oh, well, then this clearly shows that we're not actually interested in Thiago.
Exactly.
And it won't happen just like Werner. Like, that don't even make sense. They're not the same thing. The Werner situation was completely different. It wasn't just 50 million. There was so much more to that deal. Like, it was a stupid deal. It didn't make sense. So it didn't happen, right? There was clearly interest in Werner.
So Chelsea made. Are you saying Chelsea made a stupid deal?
Chelsea makes stupid deals all the time, bro.
Chelsea makes stupid deals all the time.
All the time. Danny Drinkwater.
All right.
Kepa.
Do you think Timo Werner is going to work out value for money for Chelsea? Yes or no?
50 mil? Absolutely.
No. Include his wages, include his signing on fee.
What is his wages?
250K a week.
That's what I'm saying.
Say that again.
250. I don't know about 250.
We don't have a player at our club at the moment, and we have a team of fucking killers.
Because we broke, baby.
No, we're not. We don't have a player on 250 grand a week, and we're one of the best teams in Europe.
We don't even have a player on
let me ask this question. If there was a player like Mbappe, okay?
Right.
Do you think
Mbappe is a unicorn? Mbappe is
I put Mbappe on 500K and it'll be light. Everybody will understand.
Mbappe, Nike deal, Mbappe. Bro, listen, that was never going to happen. Not because of so much the transfer fee, but more of the wages. So I'm trying to ascertain where, at what point do we go from a club that is doing this whole sell to buy scheme and then trying to get on top of the ladder and then trying to become winners to actually making that leap and transition into consistent winners? Because if we're being honest with ourselves, this season will end up being a flash in the pan unless we go out and do some serious. Hold on, this is just my take. This is my take.
Yeah.
Unless we go out and make some decisive moves in the transfer market, this will be a flash in the pan season in comparison to how everybody else is going to move, mainly our rivals, City. So we need to make that transition away from, all right, where everybody's going to be, the top guys are going to be on 150K, and this is how we're going to work through our transfer strategies or whatever that is. Sometimes there may be a player like an Mbappe or whoever, I'm just putting them out there, who will make who will make our team that much more better. Just pay the wages.
Ellis, go on. Quick rebuttal, and then we'll move on to something else because this is taking too long.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's fine.
So you're saying all of that, but you're not taking into tangibles. You're not taking into the fact that he wanted 250 a week. He hasn't done anything to come. Yeah, he hasn't done anything to come into the squad to say that, I'm going to earn more than Salah and I'm going to earn more than Van Dijk. That's
first thing.
Huh?
And his ears don't work.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't like loud noises. Also, when you're talking about, we have to do more to be the best team in Europe, fam, transfers is one thing. Like I said in the group chat, transfers is one thing. Coaching adds it all up together. You can buy, let's say, for instance, Benteke, banging bare goals against us. He's coming to Liverpool. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Our best players have been our high-profile transfers and have literally come into our team.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead, bro. My bad. Go ahead.
If you're saying that, then Torres, Suarez, what do they do for us?
What?
Torres, Suarez, these people that we bought, to take us to another level, they scored their goals and they moved on. Why? Because the coaching wasn't enough. Now we have a coach who can get the best out of players. Yeah. Why are you telling me that, it's only transfers that can move us to the next level?
Whoa. Okay. I'll be quick. So your point is that it takes more than transfers to get to take us to the next level. It includes coaching. I can accept that. Sorry?
Takes a village.
Oh my goodness. I get that. I can see your point. But as things stand, our high-profile signings are our best players and were our best players the second they came into the squad. Okay. My point has always been when there are players that are of a specific ilk that take us up another level, okay, just get it done. Like the logistics, the logistics, you guys seem to be really, really like all up in the logistics. We have seen clubs go above and beyond to get the player that they want. I just want us to just move in that kind of ruthless efficiency.
So Joe, let me
from time to time.
Let me quickly ask you something.
That's just me.
Let me quickly ask you something. So let's say we take your approach to getting the team over and a deal done. We pay all the money that Leipzig wanted up front, and then we pay him $250 a week in wages. So put yourself in Sadio Mane's shoes. You put yourself in Mo Salah's shoes. Put yourself in Virgil van Dijk's shoes. Okay. Someone's coming on $250K a week, and like we've all said, he's not really done. Yeah, they're all below that threshold by a considerable amount. Possibly 100 grand, 80 grand, whatever it might be. You're walking.
Is that not crazy to you that the best centre back in the world is probably on about 180K?
Yo, that's his business.
That's his business. That's not my business because I'm not counting other people's money.
Listen, he's accepted that deal.
And Joe, just to go into what Mugga were talking about, Mugga was saying how every single Mugga, the Man United podcast, we know.
Sorry.
So they were saying every single transfer window.
Who, man?
Who?
I thought he said Mugu. I was like, who's Mugu? Like, I don't know.
They said every single transfer window since Fergie has come, something has happened and they've bought someone that has fucked up their whole wage structure. So the fact that they've given David De Gea 350K means if Pogba goes for a deal, Pogba's going to be asking for 500.
Exactly.
Escalator
going to be asking for about 200. So when you do something like bringing on Timo Werner, who is 24, on 200K and will probably get pay rises after a few good seasons, and that could take him up to, let's say, 350K, and we have established players who are on about 150, the disparity is going to cause tension. They're going to want...
if I'm being real, I didn't even know it was 250. I heard it was like 170.
We've been telling you.
No, it's not.
Brother, we've been telling you.
And that's why I was even more... It's a lot. Because I was like, okay, maybe we could have worked a way around the upfront payment, but if it's because of wages, then I don't like... But don't get
it wrong. It's not just wages. It's not just wages. Package. Everything, the whole deal just didn't make sense, right? But
they genuinely wanted the whole payment in full.
Right. Okay.
So, and there was a lot of other stuff involved in that as well, like Fahi was saying. But
one thing I just want to say before we move on, right, really quickly, one other factor that you really need to bear in mind, I don't care if you don't believe it or not. Right now, we've got 9 central midfielders signed to the club. 4 of those guys are 29 and above. You then want to add another one right now to then make it 10 central midfielders, 29 and above. So 50% of our midfielders will be 29 and above. It just doesn't make sense.
We're back on Thiago.
For the ultimate point. So, like, you really do need to assess what's number one happening with your squad and what is happening with Thiago between now and the end of August. Like, until then, you can't really move on it. You can agree with him a deal, and based on what everything has been said, we have, in principle, agreed something with him that clearly shows that we're interested. What happens next depends on...
I don't believe we have. I don't believe we've agreed anything in principle.
Why don't you? I don't want to get into this too much, but why?
No. I just don't believe. I just don't believe so.
I said 10 seconds.
If it hadn't been from Christian Falk, who is the oracle for Bayern Munich news, I wouldn't have believed it. But when it comes to something like that,
what exactly did he say? I thought he only confirmed that there was interest from Liverpool. I don't know about any agreeing in principle.
He confirmed that between us and Thiago, an agreement is there. Ultimately, it's between us and Bayern now to get the deal done over the line. That's all it is. So if it now doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that we were gazumped in terms of a deal. situations do change, and I get it's frustrating, right? But right now, you do need to assess what happens between now and the end of the actual season. The season doesn't end when we stop playing. Annoyingly, we got knocked out of the Champions League, and there's more football to play, and we need to see what happens there. Number one, if he stays fit, who the fuck we're going to get rid of? Who the hell's going to pay for Shaqiri and all those bums?
Get rid of all of them. Just get rid of
Boy,
all.
I wish we could, because honestly, this is my nutting.
I mean, I'll leave it this way. I think for me, it's less frustrations. It's a lot less frustration. Just more me just being quite
skeptical.
I'm always skeptical, but this is literally me saying this cat is the perfect fit for us. So I know for a fact we're not going to get it done. That's fine. But you guys are trying to convince me otherwise, and that's fine. But
okay, so how come you got Salah done when Salah was a part for us?
Mark, leave it.
Patreon.
We need to move on, but this will be Joe versus everyone will be a Patreon exclusive, so don't worry about that. That'll be coming
Joe versus the people.
That'll be a pay-per-view coming to you very soon. Kop End Fracas fight Ireland. In other news, though, as Alice has kindly provided, Montpellier are interested in Loris Karius, so there's an extra £6 million to be out there. So
what they're going to pay?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, really? Besiktas and Montpellier want to pay $6 million.
Oh, Besiktas had a $6 million deal in mind.
Oh, they had it.
And that's the fee that Liverpool looked to grab for him.
From Montpellier.
So, how much did we pay for him?
Like £4 million.
Is it 4?
Oh, getting an extra $2 million. Wow. That
I mean, the fact we're getting
Hey, Joe, what's wrong with you? Hey, Joe,
Chris,
when I catch you.
Wait, I was about to say an ME masterclass is coming, but you guys were.
Bro, hold on. Anyway, next topic, man. This guy's
the next topic we're going to talk about is kind of an actual follow-on as to the discussion we were just having for the past 45 hours. In terms of players feeling like, top Reds telling us that we can't criticise certain players, and players shouldn't be disrespected in the way they are, as with the Jorginho Wijnaldum chat over the weekend. So I thought we could have a bit of a round-table discussion on this. If players are performing like bums, we should be calling them bums, but not in those in those words. I shared a few examples with you guys yesterday in terms of how Thiago would stack up against that current midfield, and the most person who was underperforming for this season was Jorginho Wijnaldum. Does that devalue anything he's done in the past? No, because all the things he's done in the past have contributed massively to the success of where we are now. But is it a crime to say that, and it goes back to the Firmino point as well, is it a crime saying we should be improving on these players? No. But why does it feel like a crime that we are saying that we should improve on these players? Because we are nostalgia merchants. So,
yes,
roundtable discussion. El, I'll lead you. You feel very passionate about this and about Origi most importantly, so I'll let you lead off on this.
Yeah, like you said, we're just nostalgia merchants, man. Ronaldo can score 2 big goals against Barcelona and City. I was like, you got to keep him. But you got to look at the grand scheme of things. There's some games Ronaldo will play and he's having like 20 touches, which is ridiculous for someone that plays in centre mid. I mean, it's not a cry. He is a good player, but if someone like, let's say, Thiago comes in and we can replace him, we do it. Again, people like Origi, the Shaqiris, these players may have had 1-2 good games and been impactful, but if you see that there's players who can improve us significantly and take their place, you move them on. A lot of people always come out with, Shankly done this, but fam, them man got rid of players quickly, fam. It's not just it's not like anything to think about. I think Paisley came in and he got rid of what's that racist defender? Fuck him anyway.
Tommy Smith.
Yeah, got rid of him, and everyone was about fam. You get rid of because these people have now done what they needed to do, and it's time to replace them. So you do him. So you do that. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. I don't see why people are saying that, we need to be respectful to you. You're respecting them. You said that, they've done well, but their time has now come to an end and their cycle has now ended. So it's time to replace them.
Anything to add to what El said there?
I think that's where people like Joe confuse us with top Reds. Like, I don't feel like we are nostalgia merchants. I feel like we're a bit more logical in our approach. So when we say stuff like we're going to lose 3 midfielders of a lot of experience in Milner not really playing. Genie may be leaving for not signing a contract, and Lallana. They have contributed a lot to the squad, and we know what they can bring to the squad off the pitch. So when we say stuff like, "Oh yeah, we can't really lose those type of players," it's not because of nostalgic reasons. It's because there's a lot that comes with these players. Milner is the type of person that will coach these younger players, and the experience he would add is invaluable. That's why
it doesn't matter to Joe, man. Joe only cares about what happens on the pitch.
That's why I said stuff like sign Thiago Silva, because Thiago Silva off the pitch would be ridiculous for players. And
Thiago Silva is literally the antithesis of the guy who can come in, bang his medals on the table.
Exactly.
People will say they're made out of copper because they're from Ligue 1, but they all count at the end of the day. But yeah, that's the kind of leadership you want. Someone who's won stuff, someone who can teach defenders, teach Gomez how to not lose his head in certain situations. I completely agree with you, Mark. And the Milner point's a really good one, because literally the reason we brought him in was to be the leader. That's one of the reasons why we brought Kolo Touré in, as silly as that seems now. You bring these players in, you add them to the squad to provide that leadership, on and off the pitch. Fahy, I'll let you continue.
Yeah, ultimately, the topic you're discussing is more on, are we allowed to criticise players or not, based on nostalgia. I think, all right, so I agree with everything that's being said here currently, in the sense of, yes, we are allowed to critique performances. It doesn't matter if you bang 2 goals against Barcelona in a semi-final. If you play shit, I'm calling you out. Simple. But I think there is our fan base. The problem I have with our fan base is we are very spoiled, right? There's so many different ways we're spoiled. It could be with lack of transfers, like Joe always cries about, or it could be with just the lack of respect we do give players that have achieved a lot with us. I think my issue is we do devalue some of the things these players have done for us. And ultimately, yes, Genie may have had a few bad games, and you're allowed to call him out on it. But to then kind of completely criticize him as a player and just basically be like, yeah, he's not it, he's not this, he's not that, when ultimately for the past 3 seasons he's done enough to get us to the point we're at. It's a bit ridiculous to me. And I know not everyone is doing that. But what's happening is, because of those crazy criticisms and then some of the legit criticisms that are coming in, they're just being lumped together, and it's just become a massive confusion. Ultimately, I just feel as if our fan base are super spoiled. And I think, yes, we're allowed to critique a man for his dead performances, but I think we shouldn't then criticize his whole profile at the club and what he's achieved at the club, because he's done a lot. And I think the Wijnaldum one, it has gone a bit too far based on what I've seen. Some man were really shitting on him, and I wasn't really with that. Origi and Shaqiri, I can completely understand why.
Well, I was about to say the Shaqiri one is so funny because a good friend of ours has seen the light on Shaqiri many moons ago, and he always says that those goals against United have blinded everyone to the point where they have. Yeah, they have. They've blinded people to the thing where they think he can still be a viable option for this team.
I don't know why.
I'm telling you, it's because of FIFA. Because they see he's 84 on FIFA, they can bring him off the bench. He's like, oh yeah, he's a good player, man. He's a good player. He's a good option. That's all it is, man. It's this FIFA generation, and this is the problem. But yeah, I just think we need to stop being disrespectful towards our players. You're allowed to criticize them for actual individual performances, but shitting on their actual careers in the club is ridiculous, man. Especially Genie Wijnaldum. He's done a lot.
He's turned up. There's games, like I said, he's turned up. And he's done.
Bro, he's turned up. When we wanted to chase for top 4 in the final day of the season,
he turned up.
Turned up. When we needed to, come out the slums to beat Barca, turned up.
He turned up. So we can't turn around and say that he's had good games. For me, it was just more the consistency of the good games, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want him to turn up against Man City. Then when we play Brighton away, it's like, this is all long for the man. I can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? But again, you can't say that he hasn't performed well because he's a Premier League winner, he's a Champions League winner, and he got us to the top 4 all the time he's been there. So I agree with Fahy, man. Balance.
One thing I will say is, stance-wise, I've always had the stance of criticising our players internally. So keeping all the harsh criticisms internal, so it doesn't look like we're always power struggling to the outside community. So if I do want to say something about a player and I do want to say something about people's performances, if we do go on to talk about the Arsenal game, I will mention Van Dijk, I will mention Alisson, and I will be very harsh about what they were doing, because what the fuck were they doing for both goals?
Yeah.
But
Oh
at
yeah,
the same
mate.
time,
Yeah.
performance-wise, nobody can chat for them. They're the best centre-back and best goalkeeper in the league, respectively. And outside to the outside community, I don't want any Arsenal fan, any Man City fan, any Chelsea fan, any Spurs fan criticising them at all. I don't even want to mention United because they have a bum in Maguire and they have a bum in David De Gea. And they can't even compare. They can't even dream about what we have at the back at the moment.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about being spoiled. We are spoiled.
Yeah. We are.
The Alisson thing is such a funny one because, you know, obviously you made a mistake against Arsenal and, you know, you're not in the right frame of mind. Obviously, you know, you kind of switched off. You are, you know, D&D for the rest of the season.
Nah,
for
man.
making a mistake like that.
Bruv.
But and then when I was watching De Gea at the weekend, it's like, fucking hell,
Exactly.
I appreciate having a guy like Alisson Becker in goal so much.
I've seen
So
Alisson make
much.
2 mistakes in his Liverpool career. There was a Leicester one where I think Iheanacho scored, and there was that one.
Three. Yeah, there was 3.
So
The one against
one.
Arsenal, his third one.
he's been here for 2 years, and we've seen
Yeah,
3 mistakes.
yeah.
3 mistakes.
It's a massive testament to him as well that he was injured for a fair bit of the season and he's still third highest in clean sheets.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's an unreal guy. I'm glad to have him on board. Agree with everything you said, boys. I think it's very good. I think the spoiled part about our fan base is very entitled as well. And
it's annoying, man.
I also think it's
annoying.
I also think it's a thing of where we see that. I think Mason Green was a very good example for this because we see that United have got the new shiny thing, and it's like, oh, we need something like that. When you've kind of already got 2 already like that,
Exactly.
Mane and Salah, and we do a thing. I see it a lot of devaluing the players that we have, especially Salah more than others.
Always.
Looking at you, Junior, Glam.
I mean, you know what? I think no player is beyond reproach. I think everyone is up for criticism.
Agreed.
From the player to the coaches to the managers, everyone's up for. If you mess up, you get critiqued. There's a level that you go to, and there's a level, there's a threshold you don't cross. Disrespect or poo-pooing on everything they've done for the club. You absolutely don't do that. But there's something I really don't agree. I don't agree with the fact that we're spoiled. I think it's a lot less to do with us being spoiled and more of us not being used to where we are right now. I feel like we're very a lot of the fan base is very reactive, but then they also really haven't had this level of success before being relevant.
Including yourself, by the way.
Huh?
Including yourself in that reactive bit, by the way.
No, I speak straight facts. And I feel with a lot of our fans, if you say one thing about any player, they jump on you. And it goes the other way as well. You can't say anything about a player, you can't critique, and then people complain, either way. And I think there's always balance that needs to be held of it. I think if you're going to critique someone, critique them for that specific performance, and if need be, critique them for, linked performances as well that they probably haven't put together, or their consistency or whatever that is. But I think with Genie, I think I've been on record saying I think Genie, the Holland Genie, is probably something we would absolutely need as a team moving forward. Someone who could add goals from midfield, but the consistency level isn't there. But if he's not willing to sign a new deal, just let him go. But it's, if he doesn't want to sign, there's nothing we really can do. If he doesn't want to sign and he wants to go home to Holland, then more life to him. We appreciate him, especially for what he did in the Champions League. But if anything short of that, I think you're doing a bit too much. And I think also we should probably ignore what other fans are saying as well. I think other fans are in a position where they're looking at us and we're the standard. So if anything they do is to compare us to their players or whatever that may be. But in reality, probably man for man, we probably have a better team than a better playroll team than most people anyway. So it is what it is. Just add a touch of balance to everything you do in forms of critiquing.
And the whole Genie critique situation has come about from the contract situation, because I don't personally think he's been our worst midfield performer. I feel like there are
Who do you think has been?
odds.
Oh yeah, fuck. Oh, don't get me started on him, please. I don't want to criticize him too much, man. Let's move on from Ox.
Yeah, been a rough year.
Yeah, but there's always context. Like what I like to think that there's always context in things in it. Like with Ox, he was out for a year. He started to pick up before the lockdown. No mobility training, not much football. So
Brother, he can't even control the ball right now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So there's not much. I don't know what's going on.
As much as we can caveat as much as we want, but facts-wise, I feel like Ox is our worst performer. I know that understand why he is.
Yeah, so that's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to disagree and say that.
That's fair.
That's fair. He has, every time he does come on, he has looked anonymous in it. But like I said, there's always context within it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel. But again, I agree. Like I think we are. Can we say we're spoiled? Yeah, I think we're spoiled, man. I think
spoiled. Like, you have the best centre back in the league.
Yeah, people just come and say, "Oh,
backs in the league, best goalkeeper in the league."
Yeah, and I think the other thing with players and why we criticise them is because they've done so. I think because when we like see their best, we always just match them up to that. So we've seen how good Ox can be. We've seen how good Genie can be. And then when they just perform like the complete opposite to that, that's kind of what rattles us. And then, the fan base just goes into overdrive. But yeah, ultimately, we need to just criticise them based on an actual performance and not their whole tenure at the club. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think in terms of the opposition fan things, I made a comparison to Mike earlier. It's one of my wrestling fans out there. I feel like we're very much Roman Reigns at the moment. Technically, we're incredibly good, and people don't want to admit that, so they just find any other reason to hate on us. Moving on, we have a fairly big event happening tonight, as we will, at the moment you've all been waiting for. I very much kin this moment to, instead of say Christmas time, you know what you're getting for Christmas. You've seen it. You've seen it hidden under your parents' bed. You know that you're getting a PlayStation 2 for Christmas, but it's December 13th and you still got to wait 12 days to get it. And now, today, it's going to be Christmas Day, and you can see that moment. You're going to get that. You're going to have that moment you've been waiting for a while. So the trophy lift, we've seen the stand be put up, the presentation area. It's going to be awesome. We need new music, so anyone from LSE who is listening to this, get Farhi on the mixer. He will wheel up all the tunes for that. But
you know that dubstep song that we keep like rehashing in the group chat from the 90s.
Oh yeah!
Imagine that.
That'd be good. You know what? I might just like fight. You know what I do, like all the wrestling stuff. I might just get that clip and just double load of shit over it.
Yeah. That'd be so good.
That'd be good. But before we have that brilliant moment, there's a little bit of business to take care of in the form of Chelsea Football Club, whose social media manager has been very brave today, to say the least. Good way to, I don't know if you can pin a tweet in a dressing room, but it's a good way to motivate the boys. Given the recent performances and players seemingly look like they're switched off, what are you expecting from the team tomorrow?
All right, I'm going to go first. So ultimately, Chelsea performed all right against United on Sunday, but they did perform and play on Sunday. So they've had 2 days break. They had a good, strong team out. I don't know if Kante is going to be back or not, but he obviously missed out on Sunday. He won't be back.
He's not going to be back now.
So what? Midfield-wise, is it going to be Kovacic and Jorginho again? Was there anyone else? Who else is there they can have in midfield? Barkley and Loftus-Cheek and
Mount, maybe.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mount will play. Pulisic will probably play as well because Pulisic didn't start on Sunday. Ultimately, Giroud played 90 minutes, though, didn't he? He played 80 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays or not. Ultimately, I would expect us to win. We've had a nice week off, nearly a week. Home performance. If you don't want to kind of lift the cup in style, then I really don't know for these guys. I don't want to hear any excuse about being on holiday mode tomorrow. This is the moment they've been waiting for. They've wanted to lift the cup. So ultimately, we're playing a team that just played on Sunday. We've had extra room to kind of rest, get ourselves ready for this game, look at the mistakes from the game against Arsenal, and it should be a comfortable victory. Like that's what I'm hoping for. What we're actually going to get, I have no idea, because since it's been tied up, some of the performances have been so bad.
Yeah, they've been shocking.
Literally, they've been beyond shocking. So I hope we go out in style. What's actually going to happen, I have no idea. I'm not even going to make a prediction on that.
Prior to the tweet going, I would have said we would have got a draw. It would have been like a 1-1. But that tweet going up has added a lot of fuel to the fire. I know the players are active on Twitter lately, so I know they've seen it.
Yeah, they see everything.
I also hope that they understand. Going back to transfers, we've lost Werner to Chelsea. We're probably going to lose Kai to Chelsea. But
Fahy, do you want to quickly...
We're not losing Kai to Chelsea.
Okay.
In it for him.
Okay.
One for you.
I may go to Chelsea. And if they miss out on Champions League football, he won't. So that would be nice to see. If we beat Chelsea and Wolves draw or lose to Chelsea, draw or win at Chelsea, then Chelsea are possibly finishing 5th, maybe even 6th. I need to go.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. I don't look at what's happening below us. They're all such godly clubs.
Yeah, it's a weird one because we qualified in late January, Feb, so I'm not even fucking bothered with that. So.
All I know is that they need to pay for their sins. Like, I don't know why they keep
they need to pay for their sins. That's it.
Why they keep on reposting a video from like 6 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I just want to say this real quick. Prior to that little crazy tweet, I didn't really care. I just wanted us to just go there, and then we'll probably get a draw.
It was good vibes until that.
Yeah. But Chelsea are such a classless outfit. Like they just lack any sort of decorum or just anything to do with class. They just don't have it. You're about to give us a guard of honor, but you're throwing back. Video clips from 6+ years ago to try and build your
engagement,
your engagement with for your 2,000 fans that you have.
Yeah, you literally tweeted that to be with the Neeks. You know what I mean?
It's like have a bit of class, have a bit of decorum, have respect. You're about to give us a guard of honor, so it's like and then if you now take an L, like what happened to you? Like, come on. So now I really want us to go out there and actually clap those cheeks. But
pause.
It's a whole lot of talking and his tweet's not loading. That's all I'm going to say.
Whether we do that, that's another question.
That's another thing.
Because these guys, listen. I thought from the previous game that they was going to get their act together and we were going to see them absolutely smash Arsenal. They absolutely were horrendous. So I don't know. Once you switch it off, it's hard to switch it back on. And if they're on the beach already, listen, we're going to get absolutely done in.
One player who I don't think is going to be on the beach, though, is Salah. Salah loves the Chelsea game. And prove a point. Always have to prove a point.
I don't know. Does he want to finish his chances this time, or what's he looking to do?
Yeah,
I mean, it's up to these guys whether or not they want to turn up. I don't think they will. It's not going to be a big deal, but because of those tweets, I really want them to go out there and get to clap.
Yeah, but more for Chelsea, because at the end of the day, you finished 3rd last season, you won European League last season. Now you've got less points this season. You're gonna head out of the Champions League, and you just FA Cup. I mean, is that tweet, was it really necessary? I don't know.
You know what? Ultimately, nice little payback will be us costing them Champions League football. So
that's it.
It's a bit of a weird. I mean, the stakes aren't as high, but 13, 14, they have to aggressively chase the game because they need all 3 points, and we're the team who can sit back.
It's so tough, man. Because United, I hate them the most. But right now, if both of those clubs could burn and not get into the Champions League, I'd take that, obviously. But
that's what I was praying for all season, and then Sheffield United fucked it up, man.
Yeah, well, they got shagged by VAR as well, didn't they?
Exactly, against Villa as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Villa, by the looks of it, they're winning 1-0 right now. They're going to stay up, and that's going to affect United by not getting Grealish. So, either way.
Huh?
The guys
I mean,
the guys in my office will be very happy if they stay up.
I mean, this is Aston Villa, man. They concede a lot of late goals. You never know what's going to happen the remainder of this game. But
I mean, with the AR, we can't all be like, certain teams can get 27 penalties in a season. So
But yeah, ultimately, I hope that tomorrow's performance is a nice way to lift the cup afterwards. You know, I'm dying to get the picture of James Milner lifting the cup, Dejan Lovren lifting the cup. Like, my profile picture's already going to shut up hella, man.
Jordan Henderson
Hella,
for me.
I love it.
Hella,
Jordan
man.
Henderson for me, bro.
I think I'm going the Kings at the back, man. I think I'm going.
Listen, I'm gonna get a picture of Dejan Lovren lifting the cup, put it on a t-shirt, and send it to Joe with his size. You know,
Tell him wear that to the
time.
first TFL live pod.
I just can't. I can't wait to see Bobby lifting it because it's just piss or boil. So
Not for me. Not for me.
No. I'm not even talking about. I'm not even talking about it in the group. I'm just talking about
me,
in general.
I think I just like, for me, this, even the whole ceremony of what's going to happen tomorrow is going to be still surreal for me. Like, everyone said, you know, it's the COVID Cup, it's this, it's that. For me as a fan, there's nothing outside of seeing your team lift that. Nothing can spoil that for me. The only thing now is when it's, I guess, realistic for everyone to go out to Anfield and have that parade or whatever, I'm going to be absolutely off my.
Catch us there.
Yeah.
Catch
us there.
This is
VIP
it is
booth.
what it is. I'm excited and my heart's fluttering for what's gonna feel like tomorrow. But this feeling can never be taken away from me, regardless of whatever is going on right now in the world. This is probably going to be the biggest biggest win, something that's going to put the biggest smile on my face so far this year. So it is what it is at this point.
W so big it helped cure COVID. Go on now.
Champions, asterisks, and all that good stuff. COVID champions. What else do you want to call it, man?
Blood on your hands, champions.
Blood on your hands, champions. You know what I'm saying,
there was hella
shit
hella
league champions.
I'm saying,
champions.
Lower
leagues so shit that you couldn't even challenge, but you know.
So you know, whatever you want to call it, man.
Just at the parade, don't be afraid to say hi. Obviously, we won't be in the most professional state. I might be out of it personally, but don't be afraid to say hi.
The views of Marco and the views of Joe belong to Marco and Joe alone. They do not represent anything.
What did I say?
I don't know. I'm just.
It's just better to cover ourselves when you speak, man. You never know. Never know what's going to come out your mouth.
CYA, man. CYA, man. You know what I'm saying?
Fair. Just a quick one before we sign off for the evening. PFA Player of the Year. Who are you voting for? Just quick.
I'm going Hendo. Yeah. As much as I wanted it to be Mane, but Hendo. Mane's had a
the league.
Quite 100%.
I mean, it could be Mane or Hendo. So that doesn't really bother. I think as long as it's not KDB, just to rub that extra bit of spice into the wounds. I would love for it to be a Liverpool player.
Hendo gets the PFA.
It'll be a Liverpool free-peat as well on the PFA player, because I'm young player. It's definitely going to be Trent by far.
Has to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to give it to Rashford, but it has to be Trent.
Rashford for what? For a bit of community service? Allow it, man.
You know how it gets, man.
Community service and staying fifth. Yeah.
Forget
evil
that,
world we live in.
The votes are done by journalists, correct?
So PFA player is by the players, and then football writers.
Writers.
I think KDB might win it if it's done by the players. I think he might end up winning it.
Yeah, I think they might split votes between Liverpool players, so he might win PFA player. But I think football writers, I think Henderson will definitely win it because they're the ones pushing for him to be rewarded for his leadership and intangibles on the pitch. Thank you for that, Glam. But yeah, that is the end of this week's podcast for Kop End Fracas, powered by Social Media Group. Thank you very much for spending your hour with us this week. We will see you again next week. And be sure, if you are hungry for more content, head over to www.patreon.com/KopEndFracas and sign up for just £3 a month. You can get a few more episodes from the boys. A lot more to come from that as well.
4 episodes a month.
4 episodes a month, man.
4 episodes a month, guys.
Joe versus the world.
And we're hungry as well, so there might even be more than 4 episodes a month. So
Yeah, that's very true.
A lot more cool stuff to come. We've got merch. Again, if you want to be able to win a piece of merch that will be selling in the future, head over to our Kop End Fracas Twitter account. Simply just retweet the tweet that is available, and you'll be in with a chance of winning that, and you'll find out if you've won it on Friday. So, from myself and the boys at Kop End Fracas, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week. Stay safe.
Peace.
Rah, rah, rah.